Hey guys, Romie here. So here's part 2 of Married to Medicine, Season 4, Episode 16, the reunion, like I said, part 2. Now, I always give myself a little bit of time so I can go and process everything that went on, because if I were to just hop on the camera right after this foolishness, I would just be like, so yeah, that happened, and this happened, and yeah, thanks, bye. So, I had to watch this like 3 times. Here we go. It starts off with Mariah and Quad, because it kind of goes over some of the shadiest moments in the season regarding Mariah and Quad. And it's interesting because Mariah feels like this. All of us have said some stuff to each other that's been really shady, really snarky. I mean, that's what the show is partially built on. And so for you guys to just put the focus on me, I don't think that's fair. And a point was brought that Mariah definitely still has some animosity towards Quad, and so whenever she's talking about Quad in particular, whether she really needs to or not, that's where it kind of cuts the deep, or that's where it kind of goes into a more really murky territory with what she says. And Dr. Heavily jumps in like, "Hello, you've been jealous of Quad and doing this to Quad for years." And Mariah says, "Excuse me? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? We all go and do this, we all go and do that," and that's true. Tori jumps in and says, "Wait a minute, but you're saying even though we do that, we're still trying to be friends or be friendly. Are you really trying to be our friend, Mariah?" It's just like, well, with some of you maybe. And I'm thinking, that's the issue right there. Why does Mariah have to try to be your friend? Why does Mariah have to try to be nice to some of you guys? Mariah doesn't like some of you. A lot of you don't like her. Let's just call a thing a thing. The whole thing of trying, if it's not working, it's not working. That's what I've been saying these past couple of reviews. If something's not working, it's not working. And this situation is not working. Towards the end, I thought, okay, this is cute right now, but if there's an issue, they're going to go right back to some of their foolishness. And so that's why I feel like Mariah and Lisa, they should just, I know a lot, or if they don't leave, at least be reduced to, okay, they're kind of there, we still kind of see what's going on in their lives, but they don't have to be fully integrated into what everyone else is doing, because clearly their communication styles and personalities are so different from how the rest of the ladies operate, it makes it hard. Then Heavenly and Mariah have this back and forth of, because it was mentioned about Simone and Mariah, Dr. Simone and Mariah saying something about her overbite, and so then it was like, well, Heavenly has an over and underbite, and Mariah has chitlins for tea, and plaque all around, and it was just like, well, you know what, I can't really blame her, because it's hereditary, because your mama, and then I was like, oh my god. Heavenly, didn't we already have this conversation where we're not going to go that route? We're not going to go that route. We aren't. We aren't. It doesn't matter if Mariah's mother likes you guys or not. We're just not going to go that route. But when Heavenly acknowledged the fact that she not only does she have an underbite and overbite that is widespread, it's from edge to edge, I said, this is why I like you. This is why I like you. You may say some really, like, are you kidding me type of stuff, but at the end of the day, you're funny. And no one can tell me different. Heavenly is funny. But the narrative switches over. It's from Heavenly to Dr. Jackie versus Mariah. Because Mariah, of course, wants to bring up the fact that Dr. Heavenly, you have a certain way of speaking to people and tone. And here's the truth. She has a certain way of speaking to people towards you. And you still feel like it comes from that place of, when you essentially said, no, there is a difference. Since you're not a mother, there's no way you could really understand what it is when it comes to kids and handling kids and all of that. You remember when she said that foolishness years ago? Yeah. And Dr. Jackie said, no. Clearly, if I still had a real problem, I'm real. I can't sit next to someone that I have a real issue with if it really hurt me to the core like that. What I'm doing instead is I'm sitting next to her, and I didn't forget it. I absolutely didn't forget it. So when it's brought back up, of course I'll feel a certain way. And I thought that was real. But the other parts of that had to do with Dr. Jackie saying, yes, I do feel like Mariah manipulates Lisa Nicole. She manipulates people like Lisa Nicole, and then Mariah said, excuse me, that's a disservice to the ladies here, period, if you're saying that I've manipulated any single one of them. How are you telling me that I manipulated any of them when they are strong women? That speaks a lot on their character or lack of strength. So I'm saying, are you really deflecting right now? I'm the deflection king. Deflect, deflect, deflect. So I see a deflection when I know a deflection when I see one. I know it. I do it in my everyday life all the time. But Dr. Jackie said, look, I know it takes a certain level of intelligence to understand where other people are coming from, and sometimes I feel like you just don't get it. I said, Jackie, I 100% agree with you, but that tone, she got you, because that's exactly what she's talking about. It doesn't matter if you're right. If you're still playing into what someone's saying, oh, you do this to them, then you're doing it. Now, do I mind? No, because everyone looked at this like, because Mariah came back and said, and yes, even though you don't yell and carry on like the other ladies, your tone and your demeanor speaks a lot, and you do some condescending stuff, mannerisms. And then Dr. Jackie said, well, yes, well, here's the thing I don't like about you, and that really irks me. You have this little aura and about yourself whenever you're upset or irritated, and it's not necessary. She said, well, and I'm saying, oh my God, everyone is quiet because they're like, so this is what being direct / shady is really about. This is what it really comes from. Not the whole, oh, well, you look like a bag of dirt. Oh, well, you're wearing a sack of potatoes. No, this is the real deal. It's like, oh, taking notes? Well, I'm thinking that's exactly how I am if I'm having a fight. I go, well, if you... So I appreciate all of that. I was cackling. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, I'm going on too long about that. The husbands come out, and it starts off nice, and the husbands are just kind of talking about the fame that they kind of have, and Dr. Heavenly's husband talks about how, what's his name, Darren? No, not Darren. Dr. Heavenly's husband talks about how it's kind of weird when grown men reference me as daddy. I said, that's how we feel when your wife references you as daddy. So now you get it. Now you get it. Now you understand. Of course, Aiden with the whole dancing feet. Mariah says he has soul but no coordination. I said, I feel it. I feel her on that. They talk about when the men had their quad set up, the barbershop striptease, if you want the exotic dancing. They're like, look, we're men. We responded as men. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. And dang, the segment with Dr. Jackie and her husband, that was really rough, because she makes it a point to say, we had a big argument, the biggest argument that we've ever had, and it was a culmination of multiple things. And so because of that, I chose not to go. Again, my wife was on the plane and she was gone. So we never even had the conversation of, are you still going? And he said, I didn't go because regardless of people there, my friends or not, I wanted to take care of home first. So that was the thing that was most important to me. Right now we're working on us, and the thing is, we definitely see things differently, and what we feel is important and what we don't feel is important. And people were not getting on Dr. Jackie, but people were saying, well, I work and I do this and that. Tori's husband said he works, and he of course had to realize that his family was leaving him behind because he was putting all his focus at work because he knew he excelled at that. And Dr. Jackie said, well, and no disrespect to that, but you're a man, and so you coming home and bringing home the bread to support your family is seen differently than me doing the same thing. And I said, yeah, that is true, and it also, the other part to that though is priorities. And of course, the husband said, yeah, but you still have to create a balance. Heavenly said, Dr. Jackie has a calling, so I understand why she puts all her focus there. Dr. Simone said, of course, I'm going to support my friend Dr. Jackie. She's definitely can put her career at the forefront as far as certain things that she wants to do with the women and breast cancer, but maybe delegate some of the other stuff to other people so that she can make time for her husband. And Andy said, well, first off, I want to make sure that we're not just brazing through this. What's going on with the fact that Dr. Jackie acknowledged the fact that Dr. Jackie said, thank you, Andy, I know where you're going with this, thank you, that I'm diving into work because she doesn't have that child or children that would complete her in another way, different sense. I mean, let's be real. She's already getting what she's getting out of her marriage, even when it was good. And that was, and she still wanted the kid then. So now things are kind of, but her career is really taking off, and she still doesn't have the kid, but the attention that she has or that she can give to the patients, that's what she's replacing the time that she would have with having a child. And I feel like we cannot braze over that. We definitely can't. But Dr. Jackie dropped a bomb on us saying, you know, if we're not making each other happy, and if I'm not making, what's his name? I believe it's Curtis happy, I have to walk away. I said, no, let's not do that, because that definitely sounds like giving up. Some people say, oh, it's not real. Yes, it is. That sounds like giving up. That sounds like, okay, this just isn't working out the way that we planned, so you go your way, I go my way. And everyone said, nope, cut that out. Do not talk like that, because you're just saying, instead of really working on it and really trying to see if you can salvage what's there, because it's a marriage. It's not like, oh, this is just a boyfriend-girlfriend of 6 months, and now you're acting crazy and you're acting different. Both of them grew, and they started to grow in opposite directions. That's all that happened. I really do feel like Dr. Jackie's husband wants to grow in the same direction that his wife is growing, but his priorities are different, and so are hers. And that has to be acknowledged, and they need to decide what's really important for them at this stage and moving forward in their life. That's what they really need to do. Forget all this, oh, I love you. Yeah, that's great. That's the foundation. That's why you're still together now. That's why you're still working on it, because they're still working on it. They're not getting a divorce or anything. But I just don't like the fact that it just seemed like, because you can see Dr. Jackie's husband didn't agree with when she said that. He just had this look of, are we really doing this right now? Are we really talking about this right now? Like, I want to just go in backstage and just not cry, just be like, oh! And Dr. Jackie's just like, I'm emotionally over it. It is what it is. I said, no, don't give up. Simone, talk to your friend. Heavenly, talk to your friend. Everyone, talk to your friend. Stop that. And I appreciate the fact that everyone came to her defense, like, no, we're not doing that. There was a quick conversation regarding Aiden and Quad's husband. Dang it, what's Quad's husband's name? Anyway, where they are friends. So the fact that he got that text message, he felt like, the energy might have been weird, something could have happened, not because of them, but because of the ladies, so it was better for them to not come. That's fine. And he didn't have to go and reach out to his friend, but I do feel like it probably would have been the right thing to do, even though he wasn't the one throwing the party or anything. Say, look, I love you, bro, but I don't want any problems at this party. I don't think you'll cause any problems, but I think that our wives, it doesn't take much for something to pop off. So let's just go meet like afterwards or the next day or something else, or even, you know, early that day, what have you. But being there at the party, I don't think that's the right move. And I feel like if Aiden's really his friend, he will say, you know what, I understand it's messed up, but because Aiden's like, let the wives have their issues, but what about us? We were always supposed to keep it separate. Unfortunately, ergo, it's your wives. So because of that, it can't truly be separate. It can't truly be separate. But Quad knew what she was doing by leaving Mariah the $50. You two have bad blood. So the whole thing is, okay, thank you for your services. I had a weird feeling that you would come anyway, and Mariah and Aiden shouldn't have came. They shouldn't have, because they were told not to. So when someone tells you something or says something, believe them. So they should have left it at what it was, not assume that, oh, that Quad's just trying to block us from showing her husband support. No, because at a later time he could have said, oh, no, we were told not to come. It's like, really? Quad, you did that? See how easy that is? So we switch over from that to now it's Elise, Nicole, and Darren hour. It's Elise, Nicole, and Darren hour. And Andy said, let me have Darren, hold the floor. No one speak. Let Darren talk. Let Darren talk. Just let him talk, guys. Okay, we got it. We're still not going to listen to you because we're grown, but we got it for now. We'll give him like 30 seconds. And Darren, of course, wants to lay his case. He's not gay. He's never had any sexual relations with a man. Has never had the desire to do so. And my whole thing is, does anyone really think that he's gay? Look, people online and some people out there in the real world may think so. I don't. A lot of people who I know and talk to don't. But here's the reality. I never cared. I always saw that as, okay, Darren is collateral damage. They want to go and attack Lisa Nicole, so they're using her husband because he's giving them a lot of ammunition. Not as far as gay, because that was random. That was just some stuff that people were saying, oh, to piss her off. Even though that's not right. It's not. So I definitely want to make sure I put that out there. But my thing with all of this is, it's messed up that he even had to go and really say that so that people would be like, oh, alright, well, at least he said he's not. I'm like, hello? Do you know how stupid that actually sounds? Come on now. And aside from that, why would he want to come around? Like I said, why would he? Andy is his best friend right now. He's like, I appreciate you, Andy, so much for giving me this platform and for standing up to me. I mean, standing up for me when no one else clearly would or even wanted to. It's just like he's like, I have no issues with the the LGBT community. And the Quad said Q, the LGBTQ. I said Q, oh, queer guy. But that's nothing. Quad's husband had to be like, stop it now, you're nitpicking, leave him alone. Tori said, look, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm thinking, yes it was, because Quad, even though Quad said that she never said anything about that in regards to Darren, yeah, but a guy came onto the show and said, oh, well, he slept with Darren and he knows, Darren's whole body and all of that. And so you didn't run with that, but you kind of like, if people out here saying stuff, then who knows I'm thinking, oh God, this is the foolishness. And so, remember, Darren didn't show up for, what was it, like a couple of reunions? And it makes sense. Why would he want to show up when this is what he's agreed with? And it's like, okay, doll. That's not what he said, but that's what Quad said. It's like, okay, doll. It's like, don't call me doll. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, why is he doing it? Because he had to. This is his one shot at clearing the air. Saying, you guys were attacking me, you guys were doing all this stuff, doing all this stuff towards me, and it's not fair, it's not right. Dr. Simone said, hold on, let me go and make this really clear. I never attacked your marriage, I never accused you of anything. I just talked about what you were personally saying and doing. He was like, no, not you, but your husband going and insinuating, well, if X is next to Y, then Y must be next to Z, regards to he must be doing something. Dr. Simone's husband had this look of, excuse me, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you referring to? What are you doing? Why? The ladies are like, look, we have no issues. We're good. We don't feel any types of way towards you. I'm glad that Tori's husband said, you know what, Darren, I don't care about what's going on between you and your wife. I really don't. And I will acknowledge that, some things were said about me that weren't right, about how my wife runs me. I'm just some little kid that she waterboards me at night. I'm like, oh, no waterboard. But, that's insulting. But, again, it doesn't mean that what was said to you or about you was right either, because it's not. None of this should have ever happened. And so, again, I appreciate, Andy, giving Darren the board to speak his mind. I do think that with him, they found an easy target, and it's like Lisa Nicole, okay, for the most part, she seems to have it together. But that husband of hers, oh, he's trash. So we're going to attack her and use him. We're going to do that. People do that all the time. They do that all the time. Now, I love the fact that Lisa Nicole, Andy said, do you have anything that you want to say about these ladies? Lisa Nicole said, my marriage is of no concern to you guys. My marriage and my relationship, you guys can have input, but at the end of the day, I'm the one in it. I'm the one happy. I'm the one who wants to stay in it. So just butt out. Just butt out in regards to you guys aren't running this. You're not. And she does also apologize to Toya's husband because she says, you know, when I made that comment, it wasn't right. It was me being petty, and I should have just said, you don't run me, because that's how I really felt. You bringing you into it, that wasn't necessary. But at least Nicole, before she says that, she does go at Darren and say, what I need you to do is stop saying stupid stuff. You need to stop it. You need to stop it, because when you do that, it gives people ammunition. Oh yeah, how did I braze over the fact that, oh yeah, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so. How did I braze over the fact that Dr. Simone said, wait a minute, Darren, you're the one giving us all this stuff. Because Darren's like, I've been faithful for going on 10 years. Yeah, and you yourself said that, no, she's been in the marriage for 10 years. Yeah, and you yourself said that you've been faithful for 5. I mean, give me a bleeping break. Come on now. We're not just pulling this out of our butts. We're not. We're not. This is what you're giving us. But at least Nicole, like I said, she said, you need to stop saying stupid stuff like that. Because when you say that, it makes people wonder. It makes people look. It makes people wonder about, wait a minute, what's going on in that marriage? What's going on in that relationship? And when they do that, then it comes back to me. Then I'm the one who gets attacked. They now have the ammunition to use whatever you say or do against me. And it's not right and it's not fair, because I'm not doing anything to you, or most of the time to them. So when I do have an issue with them, now they can't really say anything directly about me. Next, they go, oh, your husband, your marriage, he's saying this and that. Darren said that he has been faithful for all 10. Well, he hasn't cheated on her. I said, what? Like, oh God, is he really saying? He hasn't cheated on her. He's done some other stuff, but he hasn't cheated on her. So let's say, well, actually, maybe what's his version of cheating? Maybe he's emotionally cheated. Maybe he's done that. I could definitely see him getting caught up doing some stupid stuff like that, and maybe he doesn't see that as cheating. But because I'm thinking, so what else does that mean? He said, I've done some dumb stuff, and so that's why Lisa was like, yeah, you need to stop it, especially saying all these things, because people think, oh, our marriage is so bad. And then also with the child, you wanted to have a child, you wanted to have a son, you wanted to have another son to carry on your legacy. I'm thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. You have one now. Like, what? But anyway, he wanted to have another son, and so when you go around to people saying that you don't want, or you're not really sure about having another kid, even though you were just saying, I really want another son, how does that make me look? And then how does that make me feel when they come back to me and say, oh, well, your husband's been saying this and been saying that? And I'm glad that Toya, apologized to, because everyone, while, what's her name, at least Nicole, was going at Darren, we're like, and that's the real mess right there. That's all we ever wanted. That is the real. That's what we've been trying to tell you this whole time. And then Andy said, do you think some of your, because you were really angry right there when you were talking to your husband, do you think some of that pent-up frustration was misdirected towards ladies? And she said, no. No, because they go and they hit below the belt because they can. And so when I'm talking to them, I'm, going at them based on what they're giving me. But all I will say is, they wouldn't have that stuff to come at me if it didn't come from him. He needs to stop being the source of all the foolishness. Or at least, yeah, because when you think about it, for the most part, I remember when people were saying how Lisa Nicole was boring. And then once the stuff with her husband started to come out, that's when people really started to care about her. Let's be real. Let's be real. Show purposes, show-wise. So, without the Darren drama, there really would be not much. There's still some quirkiness stuff and personality mixed matches, but for the most part, that was the main issue. That really was the main issue.
That there's nothing like a daughter's love for her father.
That was when he was asked, so there was a question, Dr. Heavenly, do you think you would make for a good president? Dr. Heavenly said, well, I think I can't do a worse job than Donald. I said, that's why we love you. I mean, that's why we like you. And the segment switches over to Dr. Simone and what's going on with her finding out that her father was dead. And the real reason why she went down there, it was pretty much confirmed already that he was dead, but or that the likelihood of him being alive wasn't realistic, but they just need to be sure. And remember, Mariah, Dr. What do you call it? Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, and Quad all had fathers that died within a year. So that whole father segment took them out. And it's just like, you know, I got to say my piece, but I do kind of wish that alcoholism is a situation where you can't just treat it with medication or with a program. It's an everyday hardship. So I do get that, and I do understand that. The whole issue with, of course, Janice and Dr. Heavenly, they're in a good place because they came together and they acknowledged the fact that they're not perfect, and they could acknowledge that things were rocky, but they got it together. It was interesting because Andy goes, that's the question of, so if there was a party, Dr. Heavenly, who would you invite? I would invite everyone except for at least Nicole and Mariah. And I felt like that was a real answer, because if you're having issues with those two, why would you invite them? That doesn't make any sense. You two clearly have a lot of issues going on, and it's weird. It's really weird. Mariah feels like she gets blamed a lot for the stuff that goes on, whether she's really at fault or not. And here's the thing with that. To a certain degree, that may be true. People have definitely taken sides. And the thing with Dr. Simone and Mariah is their friendship, the reason why it can't be the same is that Dr. Simone, when she chose Quad's side, Mariah did essentially give her the ultimatum of, I feel like what Quad did, she did me dirty. So if you're choosing her side, then I see where you stand with me. And I don't think that's fair. I think that if it wasn't for the show, they'd probably still be friends, to be honest. I really think if the show wasn't the case, they'd still be friends. I feel like a lot of these ladies would like each other more. But you get put into these situations, these hostile moments, and you have to all still be together when life is still going on. Of course, things aren't going to turn up peachy keen. Come on now. Come on now. So I really do feel bad for that, because you know, certain people you can tell had real friendships. It's really messed up. Now, when Dr. Simone referenced the whole, oh, we're growing together, you know, I feel like everyone, you know, most of us are growing from our experiences. I said, no, all of you are. You're just growing in different directions and at different speeds. That's what's going on. You're growing at different directions and at different speeds, and because of that, you're not going to see eye to eye. When the segment switched over to Dr. Heavenly and also Lisa Nicole, you know, Dr. Heavenly said, you know what, I do feel like we were best friends last year, and I liked her a lot, and she's a smart, beautiful woman, and so that's why when all that mess was going on, I felt a certain way with her marriage, at least from the outside looking in, because I was like, wait a minute, you have all your stuff together. Why is your guy going around saying and doing this stuff? So with all that being said, you know, what happened here, you know, I respect it and I get it. And I did love that girl. I did love that girl. Lisa Nicole, of course, doing her usual, I'm trying not to be emotional, trying to be strong, trying to be strong. Just be real. Just be real. These ladies, they love the real. They love and appreciate the real. Just say how you feel. And she said, you know, I felt like we were friends and we were working towards something, so when all that stuff happened, it did hurt me. I'm like, finally! That's all we wanted to hear. We just wanted you to acknowledge that it did hurt you. It did feel a certain way. So that lets us know that you felt like the friendship was real, because it was. Dr. Heavenly said, there's no ill will. There's absolutely no ill will here between us. And so that's the case. Oh yeah, just in case I didn't mention it, when Toya said, you know, I have to apologize to Dr. Eugene, to Darren, and also to Lisa Nicole, because you guys, let's just stop talking about the husbands. Let's just stop bringing them up, because yes, it's not fair that what's going on there in your marriage, or what at least looked like, that we were using it against you. And it's hard. Being married is hard. Keeping these together is hard. You're a strong, beautiful woman. And I'm sorry that I went so hard, because I just felt like I can't see this woman go and be played on TV and be played by her husband. And that's what irked me and pissed me off. But you're not. You know what it is. You know what's going on. You see where the issues are. So I'm not going to say anything else. I'm saying finally, let's see if he holds that true to that for season 5. We'll see if he holds true to that for season 5. Now we go around the room and we say one nice thing about everyone. And of course, Toya says that Mariah was there for her when she had her baby, her first baby, and she really appreciated that. Dr. Jackie loves the fact that Toya's always been real and true to herself, and said she annoyed her initially when she was actually supposed to be her doctor, so she gave her a new number and a new doctor, but she was like, she's definitely could be a good friend. Denise acknowledged the fact that Heavenly, you know, I like the fact that she's strong and we're able to move forward together, and she, when she apologized, it meant a lot, because I was like, okay, this is a real person, I can definitely deal with a real person. Heavenly talking about, who is she talking about? At least Nicole. It's just like, she's a great mother, she's a great wife to her husband, she's a great businesswoman, she's beautiful. She's like, I can go on and on. It's just like, okay, that's nice. At least Nicole talking about Quad. She said, Quad, you love hard, and you're a true blue friend. And Quad, when she talked about Mariah, she said, oh, Mariah stays true to herself. You know, what she thinks and what she believes is unwavering. I said, okay, I see where this is going, but okay. I'm like, oh, alright, I guess we'll have to take what we can get there. And Mariah's like, okay, I'll take it. I'm thinking, okay, Quad, at least you said something nice. You weren't being fake about it, so that's all you care about. Dr. Jackie took us out, and Dr. Jackie said, you know what? Oh yeah, Dr. Simone, of course, said Dr. Jackie, she really does have a gift, and how she is there for her patients, especially patients with stage 4 cancer. I think she has a real calling. She's a beautiful person. She gets me together when I'm too loud and over dramatic, and I love her for it. So Dr. Jackie took us out. Dr. Jackie, you know, referenced the fact that, you know, this season, a lot of the little stuff got in the way, but I think that we really are best friends, because at the end of the day, we're able to come together regardless for when it matters most, and that's what friends really are. I'm thinking, yeah, but there's different types of friends, and this type of friendship is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I still stand by the fact that if Mariah and Lisa Nicole didn't come back, that would be okay. I'm not blaming all of it on them, because they all have their individual issues. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if they're still not really meshing well, and if they really want friendships with these ladies, I don't think it should be on the camera. It would be a miracle if they could pull it off on camera, but let it be off camera. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with us saying, okay, we're actually good. We're actually good, acknowledging it. Or if they're just doing their own thing and not with the other ladies, they don't have to be with the other ladies. So that's it. Let me know what you think.